Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears 2024. Happy New Year, everyone. So, first of all, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Um, it's here and gone, right? It went fast. I'm glad it's over. Um, I had a good holiday. I was here in Vegas and then on the 26th. I celebrated Vegas with my son's family here, and then on the 26th, I flew out to Tennessee to be with my sister's family, and then my nieces, a couple of meeting my niece and my nephew, my brother, and my cousin, and a couple of his sons were there, and we celebrated Christmas and New Year's. I unfortunately did not get to celebrate New Year's with them because I woke up we celebrated Christmas on the 30th and we had a great day. I mean, we had so much fun. And I woke up on the 31st like, oh my God, what happened? I partied, but it wasn't that much. And oh man, by the middle of the day, turns out I had a stomach flu. Yeah, it was going around and I got it. And then my nephew got it the next day on New Year's Day. So I slept all through New Year's Eve, all through the night till the next day. And so I didn't get to. So, oh well. I'm old. I've had a lot of New Year's Eve. So I don't need any more. But I really do hope you all had a wonderful trip, a wonderful holiday. I did want to show you something. I got the coolest thing from my brother from a different mother, who is actually my cousin, and I love him so much. Donnie gave me this really cool book. It's leather, it's all leather bound, and it's a football history of the Chicago Bears seen through reporters of the Washington Post, and it's presented by me, Lynn Aiden. Yeah, isn't that cool? So it's really cool, and it's all like it's clippings. All the clippings and written, clippings. It starts from 1932 to the present date. So really a cool gift. Don, you rock. I love him. Love you, man. You know that, and I didn't get to spend a lot of time with you, but I love you. So. Let's talk some Chicago Bears, huh? First of all, I haven't seen you since we beat Arizona and the Falcons. 2 good wins, 2 wins we should have did, and we did. Now they're not fantastic teams, although Arizona beat Philadelphia Eagles last Sunday. So, but any team can be beaten on any given Sunday. We know that. But the Bears won 2 games that they should have won, and good for them. And they did it impressively. So let's hope they continue to do that and finish the season with another victory. And if they do, I know you guys missed my singing for those two games. I know it. You wanted to hear the touchdown song. I know it. But so good wins. And we've got this last game of the season for the Bears in Green Bay. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm not going to go overboard with stats like I normally do because it is the last game. We know what we have to do, so we're going to talk a little bit. But first, I want to give a big shout out, happy birthday to Virginia McCaskey. She is 101 today. God bless you. God bless you. She's just an awesome woman, and I really wish the Bears were in playoffs for her. I wish the Bears would win a Super Bowl. The woman isn't going to live forever, okay? She is 101 Bears, okay? Well, so how about in 2024 we go to the playoffs and win the Super Bowl for Mrs. McCaskey? God knows she deserves it. There's one little cool story about her, and my brother and I were talking about this over the holiday, that she had said, gosh, about 10 years ago or something, she was being interviewed. And she said something, and she said, I really loved Brian Piccolo. Now, if you don't know who Brian Piccolo is, you need to go and look that up because you might be young and not realize, but he was on the Bears and he tragically died of cancer while on the Bears at a very young age. And Mrs. McCaskey said, just fell in love with Brian Piccolo, and she promised herself after that the battle with cancer and he passed away. She said she promised herself, I will never get attached to another football player because it hurt so much when he passed away. It was like losing her own son. And but it happened again. It happened with Walter Payton, and she said, and I fell in love with him, and he was like my family, and then he tragically passed. And she saw both of these young men who were on her team, good men, pass away too early in life for both of them. And Brian didn't get to play football like Walter did, and but it was really cool. And she's like, it really hurt. She goes, I love them. I love all my players, but those two were very special to her. And I just think it was a really cool thing that she did that. So happy birthday, Mrs. McCaskey. We love you. So we're playing the Packers again. We have played them 207 times, and you know that they're leading it. They're leading 106 to 95 to 6 ties. So let's change it to 96 for the Bears coming Sunday, right? We really need this. Really, the last time the Bears beat the Packers was Week 15 in the 2018 season, where we went 12-4. Mitchell's first season, and Nagy just screwed him up, and he was never the same after that season. Nagy just sucked, and I know that Nagy is. I think they're trying to chase Nagy out of Kansas City too. Shock, because they don't like what the defense or the offenses that he's calling. Yeah, we get that, don't we? But so it has been 5 years since the Bears beat the Packers, and it was the last time that the Bears, they won their last 2 games of the season for the 2018 season, and they went 12-4. That was their best win-loss record since 2006 with Lovie Smith. So the 2018 season where they went 12-4 was the best since 2006 when we went to the Super Bowl, and we know we lost. But so the Bears have a lot of work to do, and you know what? Let's start on Sunday, because if the Packers win, they go as a wild card to the playoffs, and we don't want that, do we? We don't want to send the Packers to the playoffs. No to the Packers. No to the Packers. And it's just so important. So I'm going to talk about a little stats, and then we'll talk about the game. So the Bears, I always say this, I always do this every show. The Bears are average passing is 186 yards. That puts them 27th in the league. Packers are much better. They're averaging 228 yards passing. That's 17th in the league. So they're good at the pass. We beat them handily at the rush. We're averaging 145 yards rushing. We're second in the league, and they're averaging 111 yards a game. That puts them 15th. So they beat us in pass. We beat them in rush. Points scored, it's pretty close. The Bears have been scoring 21.9, which is, I don't think, enough. That puts them 16th in the league. Green Bay is averaging 22.9. That puts them 11th. So they're pretty close. The Bears' defense has still been allowing points. They've been averaging about 22 points to the other team allowing. That puts them 20th. And Green Bay, this is the weird thing, because Green Bay, we're better defensively as a team than Green Bay, but points allowed, they've only allowed 21.3, and that puts them 14th. But our defense, overall defense, we're ranked 12th in the league. Green Bay's defense is 27th. So we beat them handily there. Offensively, the Bears are 17th offensively in the league, and Green Bay is 11th. So they beat us offensively. We beat them defensively. So to me, if the defense shows up like they have the last, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it's going to be a defensive game. And the Bears, all the offense has to do is just score enough points to win the game. I don't care if they win by 1 point or 20 points. I just want a frickin' victory. It's time to beat the Packers. It's time. Aaron Rodgers is making fun of us, and he's in New York on the Jets. And I saw he was making fun of the Bears this week. What the hell is that about, Rodgers? F you, man. So it's just, I just hope these Bears players know how important it is. So I'm just going to compare Fields and their quarterback Love. But it's not a good comparison because Field has only played 12 games and Love has played 16. So he's only missed one game. Fields has missed four. So Fields currently has 2,414 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he's rushed for 630 yards. Yeah, you heard me. So he's still okay with the ratio of touchdowns to interceptions, but I'd like to see that ratio go up and no more interceptions, okay? Love has played, as I said, 16 games. He's got 3,843 yards. So quite a bit, but he's also played 4 more games. He's got 30 touchdowns, though. That's impressive with 11 interceptions, and he's got 248 yards. So he's got a lot of touchdowns, so the defense is going to have to be on their game. So the defenses, comparatively, there's one stat that they beat us in handily, and the rest we beat them. So the Bears and the sack totals have gone up in the last 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks on the Bears. They have 29 sacks now. Green Bay has 40. Yeah, 40. So going to be a challenge for that offensive line. Going to be a huge challenge. Interceptions, we've got 22 interceptions. That is awesome. I want to see that go up. Let's make it 24 by the end of Sunday. Let's get a couple interceptions, and Green Bay has 7 interceptions, so that's really good. The Bears have got 15 forced fumbles, have only recovered 5 of them. Green Bay has 10 forced fumbles and recovered all 10 of them. So, but, excuse me, so there is some similarities there, but our defense, I think, you know what? They're playing right now lights out. They really are. Our defense is playing really, really well, and Green Bay's offense has all of a sudden these last 6-7 games started to play very well as well. Actually, maybe about the last 4 or 5 games played really well, and that's why they're in the hunt to go for a wild card. The Bears players, you know, I hope that Coach Flus is telling them how important this is to the organization, the fan base, and to the team. We've got to beat the Packers on Sunday. Not only would we knock them out of the playoffs, but we could end the season on a very, very good high note going into the next season, 2024. And that would help a lot because last season we did not go in on a high note into this season. And as we started this season, we continued to be where we were last season. Then all of a sudden things changed and we started getting better. Definitely defensively better. I know Sweat has had a lot to do with it. But I also believe that the defensive line, after, you know, there was only one returning Bears on that defensive line, and that's Julius Jones, and he, I don't know if that's his first name, Justin Jones. Terrible with names. Pickled, remember. And after being in Tennessee for a week, definitely more pickled. Oh, so we really, so they're playing well offensively. We're playing well defensively. And as I said, the defense I felt was getting better and better anyways. The defensive line, and then when Sweat came, oh my God, it changed everything. Our linebackers are playing very well, decent. Edwards is having a hell of a year. He's leading the Bears in tackles with, gosh, I want to say it was like 147 tackles this year. And our backfield is just, every one of our backfield guys has an interception this season. That is awesome. I'm not sure how many teams can say that. That is just our backfield. So really, our linebackers out of all of it, you know, and we got to work on the defensive line too, but the defense has got to come out and play air-free, vicious football. They got to get in Love's face. I believe if they get in Love's face and rush him, sack him, you know, just get in his face, he's going to throw interceptions, and we're going to be ready for him. Let's hope. Let's not do any right in the bread box, guys, and miss it, okay? So let's get some more interceptions, and they have to get in Love's face. They're going to have to stop the run as well. Our defensive line has really improved on that because in the beginning of the season, they were letting teams run all over them. Now they're starting to stop the run. So they do average 111 yards a game, so they can rush the ball. So they've got a quarterback that can throw, and he's thrown 30 touchdowns. 30. Okay, that's a lot. So our defense has got to play air-free, smart football. I mean, really come out. Every one of those guys on that defense, and I've said this before, they have to play 110% individually, and they've got to have their heads in the games. No silly penalties. Let's don't let them go up and down the field on you. You want to stop them, and I believe if we can get in Jordan Love's face, he's gonna make mistakes. I mean, any quarterback's gonna do that, but I just know this kid is gonna do it because our defense, when they're on, and it's impressive. And to get this win, it's like our Super Bowl this season. It really is. And if we could get this win, I believe we can turn this Green Bay Bears rivalry around starting next year. I just pray we don't play them on the first game like we always do. I hate that. So the Bears players, I just hope that Flus has been doing that. Now, offensively, we know, well, first of all, they've got, what did I say? How many sacks? Shoot, I think it was 40. No. Yeah, they have 40 sacks, their defense. So our offensive line, which has struggled a little bit in the last couple weeks, I've noticed, has got to play. They also have to play 110% head in the game, air-free, no fucking silly false starts, holding, none of that penalties. You got to keep the penalties down. You know how I feel about that, 5 or less, and that's going to be real important in this game. This game, I believe, is going to come down to whichever team has the least amount of penalties and makes no mistakes, error-free football. They're going to win this game, and our offense has got to. Now, we've got to obviously establish the run again. We've got to get that run going, and I believe against this defense we can do it, and that'll be very important in this game because it's going to be cold probably. I don't know what the weather's going to be, but you get that running game going, it's only going to help Justin Fields. Now, the last few games, we know what Justin's done. Again, Arizona and the Atlanta Falcons, okay? Arizona has won 4 games this year so far. Atlanta was around our same schedule, they've won 7 or 8. I don't know. I don't know what they did on Sunday, but so they're not great teams, but he was solid, but he still has problems making decisions, and it showed. Now, he had that fantastic run in Sunday's game where he kept going backwards, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be like, third and 35, and he got out of it and ended up getting a first down. That was fantastic. It was fun to watch. It was great. He got his first down, but you cannot win games with your quarterback having to do that every time or him doing that every time. Justin has got to settle down, make up his mind, and just stand there and throw that ball. He's got to trust his receivers, and he's got to trust his line a little bit more, and he's got to make quicker decisions. I know everyone's like, oh, we should keep him. He's getting better and better. I wish this play in these last 2 weeks of what he's had would have started 9-10 weeks ago. And then we would have seen more and more improvement. We're just seeing it now. I'm not digging that. Of course, a lot I blame on Getsy because the play calling still sucks. I mean, him and his damn screen passes, everybody knows he's going to play, he's going to do those all the time. But you got to start throwing down the field to win this game. And Justin has got to be all in, heads in, and make decisions. He cannot hem and haw and at the last minute try to run all over the place. I don't think that's going to work this Sunday. And, of course, he's trying to win a job at the Bears or another team because we all know the million-dollar question is, will he be back next year? Who will be back next year as far as coaches and him? I believe Flus will be back next year. I pray that they get rid of Getsy. They have got to fire him and get somebody, go out there, interview somebody. Now, if they're going to keep Fields, what they do is hire somebody that says, I can work with this kid and I can get him better. That's what you need. Or if the Bears have already decided, which I believe they have, if they haven't decided by now, we're in trouble, but I believe they know the direction they're going no matter what happens on Sunday. And if they decide to trade him, still going to get a new offensive coordinator, and then you go from there. But I'm not going to get into too much of this today because we'll talk about that next week after the Green Bay game and stuff. So it's my threes. Let's talk about my threes. Time of possession, penalties, turnovers. Time of possession, you know how important that is, guys. You win the time of possession, your offense is on the field, your defense is off the field. Their offense is off the field and their defense is on the field. And you want to wear down their defense. That's why it's so important to get that running game going. Because if you get that running game going early, the fourth quarter, you can just wear out that defense and run and run and run and run. I don't know if Foreman's going to be in. I know there was some questionable. I know Cole Kmet was questionable. I saw Jalen Johnson was questionable. I hope all these guys play. Who else did I see? I forgot. I always forget to check the injury list. I don't know. Again, pickled. All that, we did party a little. The one thing at my sister's, we do have a lot of cocktails. So, so time of possession, huge. The penalties, 5 or less penalties. I've been saying it all year. You know that is my biggest bugaboo. Teams like the Bears cannot afford penalties. They're not good enough. No team wants to get a penalty, that's for sure. But teams like the Bears who, when they can finally get a drive going so many times this season earlier. Now, it hasn't been like that the last 5 games or so, but before that, we were constantly stopping drives. And the majority of our penalties have been on offense this year. So they've stopped so many drives with that, so you have got to keep your penalties 5 or less. And turnovers. Turnovers can turn around a game like that. If you win that battle, you're going to be in this game. You win these 3 categories, you're so close to winning the game, if not winning it. And I've proven that many, many times this season. I'm just saying. So it's important, but a turnovers is huge because it uplifts your team. You get your defense off the field. You get your offense back on the field, hopefully with awesome field position. Maybe you get some points out of it, at least 3, and you're just rocking and rolling, and it pops that bubble, a balloon on the other side, and it gets in their head, especially if it's interceptions and fumbles by that quarterback Love. If we can get in his head, he's young, remember, he's been around, but this is his first season. So we need to get in his head, get these turnovers, and make him make mistakes. Huge. So these Bears have got to do this. They have to basically keep on doing what they've been doing the last 2 games, but they've got to step up their level because they're playing a better team, as much as I hate saying that. And a big congratulations to Sweat and Jalen Johnson, for making the Pro Bowl. Right on. I thought that maybe Edwards should have gotten in there with all his tackles. You can't really, all our running backs, we've got a lot of yards, but they're all amongst each other. So, and it would have liked to see Cole Kmet get in there, but, because at one point he was in the top 3 of tight ends, so I would have liked to see him get in there. But congratulations to these guys. Next year we're going to have more Pro Bowlers. And at the end of the day, I don't really care unless we win, right? We really want to win. And the game on Sunday is so huge, right, guys? I mean, huge. We want to win this game. Let's end this misery, please. End this misery, and let's start a new era going into the next season. And maybe we can erase all that and get back to making this a great rivalry where it's not one-sided. It's always been kind of like that since the 70s. The late 70s, the Bears were beating the Packers. And then the 80s, the Bears were beating the Packers. And then in the early 80s, the Packers took over. And then the later 80s, the Bears started winning the rivalry. We kind of took it into the 90s. It turned around in the 2000s when, obviously, fucker Aaron Rodgers came along. And it's really been since then. And when Lovey came to the Bears, Lovey Smith, that was the one thing I'll never forget. He said, I'm here to beat the Packers twice a year. And Lovey did beat the Packers. You know, that's something I should have looked up. But when he was the coach, we beat the Packers when he was the coach a lot. And we need to turn that around again, Floos. So let's go. Let's bring a victory. And I'm wearing my Walter Payton jersey today. There was a game the week that Walter passed away in 1999. And the Bears were playing the Packers. And it came down to if the Bears kicked this, If the Packers kicked a field goal, they would have won the game. And it was cold. It was in Green Bay. And they kicked the ball, and this one Bear, and I can't remember what it was, jumped so freaking high, and he tipped the ball. They didn't make it. We won that game. And everybody said it was because of Walter. Walter was sitting on that goalpost watching, and he's like, no, not on my watch today. So, Walter, let's hope you bring it back and get us a victory on Sunday, okay? So we know what it takes to win this game. You've been listening to me all year. I'm pretty consistent of what I say. And the defense is better, but the bottom line is with the Bears, because where they're at, particularly offensively, they've got to play their best offensive game of the season on Sunday. Same defensively, but I think they will defensively. Let's hope so. And like I said, that defense has got to come out and make a statement right away in that game, I believe, to set the tone. And then our offense gets out there, and then they start doing their thing. Get that ball running, and then start getting Justin throwing some passes downfield, not next to him, Gatesy, not next to him, down frickin' field, okay? And I believe, again, whoever makes the less errors and less penalties and who scores the most points is going to win. And I believe it's going to be a close game. I really do. I do think it'll be defensive. And I really, I just want to win. I just want to win. So, this is Mrs. McCaskey's birthday weekend. So, Bears, if you can hear me, win on Sunday for Mrs. McCaskey. Okay? So that's really it, guys. There isn't really much more to say. I gave you some facts. I didn't go overboard on them this week, but I gave you what it is. So, everyone out there, I want you on Sunday when you're watching this game. It's the later game. It's the 3:30 game for you, 1:30 game for us. Put on all your Bears gear. Put anything on that's lucky for you. And let's sit down and root our team on to victory. And it would be great to knock Green Bay out of the playoffs and beat them at home, wouldn't it? It would be a great start to the 2024 season, or 2024 year. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Win. Okay, we're enough. All right, Lynn. What can I say? So, as always, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You know what? I just enjoy doing the show, and I love that people watch me. I thank you every week because my heart is full, and it means it. I mean it. It's nothing better. You know, this woman, I'm an old lady, 65, just had her knee completely replaced, and I'm sitting here week in and week out, and this is my 4th season of doing Let's Talk Chicago Bears, and people actually watch me, so it's pretty cool. And if you like me, hit subscribe and tell your friends. And on that note, let's hope that this is a very good 2024. We really need it, and it starts with you and me and everyone else out there. Stop hate, be kind, love one another. We're in this together. There are good people out there. There's some bad people, but there's way better good people. So you be that good person. and you do the right thing and care for one another, and we can get through these times together. Things are just tough, and just love one another. I want everybody to get along. You know what I mean? That's all I want. Everybody to have this country, to have our country back as a number one in the world. And we're not even close to that. So, and there's so much hardship. Help people out if you see they're struggling. Smile at somebody if you see them in the store. Smile. Always smile. Say hi to people. You just never know what kind of day they're having, what kind of time they're having in their life. And sometimes when people just make that little effort, it can go a long way. I'm just saying. So let's have a great 2024 and start right now. You and me, let's change this. Bears fans rock, and we deserve a frickin' victory on Sunday. Bears, don't make me come there. I'll have to come there if you're not listening to me. I may be short, but I'm mighty. I may be old, but I can still kick ass. And on that note, go Bears. I'll see you guys Monday. Hopefully, Victory Monday with a song. And as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby. Sayonara. I don't know why I said that. Bye-bye.